Welcome, welcome, beautiful people, to It's Been Said. I'm your host, Kat Wade, and Kat is spelled with a K. So excited to be with you this wonderful November evening. You know, we are a weekly radio broadcast where we empower individuals for positive living, because a negative mind will never give you a positive life. We are a safe outlet where persons and guests can share their stories of how they have overcome challenges to live their desired life. Storytelling is awesome, and all of us have a story to tell. Our guests share personal life stories from their lived perspective. Everyone is born into a once-upon-a-lifetime story. We're just looking for our happily ever after. So good evening, beautiful people. How was your day? Thank you all for listening. And to those of you that are listening for the first time, so happy you decided to join in. Last week, I ran into some old friends, and I'm going to call her name Kathy. And it was great seeing her and told her about the show. So if you're listening, thank you. And then an old colleague of mine, Sandra, told them about the show. So if you're listening, welcome to It's Been Said. We want to once again acknowledge our great sponsors for our anniversary party, People's Pharmacy. You know, at People's, we believe trust is earned. That's why integrity guides every decision, and respect is at the heart of every interaction. We treat our customers like welcomed guests. Our knowledgeable team are here to serve you with competence and compassion, whether you need health essentials, beauty, home decor, and organization, or the perfect gift. Visit us at peoples.bm for store hours and services, or stop by one of our 3 locations. Peoples, more than just a pharmacy, we're here for you. So that's our sponsor. Thank you, People's Pharmacy. And then I have here a ad from the Salvation Army. It's called the Truck of Hope Christmas Toy and Food Drive, hosted by Inter-Island Communications family of stations. And they're asking you to join in helping those in need with purchasing non-perishable goods, gift cards, and toys unwrapped. Now, what you have to do is from now until Friday, December the 12th, you gather up those things, your non-perishable goods, your gift cards, and your new toys unwrapped. And on Friday, December 12th, you bring the donations to the Salvation Army Truck of Hope, parked at 49 Union Square, right in front of the building here, from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then come in and to the studio and give a Christmas shout out over the radio. Now, that's pretty special. So, that's a bit of housekeeping taken care of for tonight. And I want to let you know that we have a special guest in the studio tonight. And she's here with me. She's a lady of much talent and sincerity. A sincere heart, yes. Her life story is one of courage and faith. Believing, as she says, when things seem to be falling apart, they are actually falling in place. She reflects beauty on the outside with her sea glass art, and inside with her heart-deep smile. We welcome to It's Been Said, Ingrid Botello. Please greet the beautiful people for us this evening, Ingrid.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be here.
See, you could just hear the smile. Thank you. So you want to stay tuned to hear this story. Okay, so you know what's ready for now. My monologue. And my monologue this evening is entitled Toolbox. You know, for me, my dad could fix anything, from my dolls with broken heads, to a spark plug for my mobilette, to the broken window in my bedroom. And if he couldn't fix it, he knew someone who could. He had in his possession his trusty toolbox. And guess what? Even though he died more than 20 years ago, I still have it. My husband also has a toolbox that is a little bit more sophisticated, and is stocked full of tools. Tons of hammers, screwdrivers, pliers, wrenches, nails, screws, pencils, Allen keys, saw, tape measures, and other things that I can't even name. When we were renovating our house, these tools were everywhere. And there was one thing my husband repeated that he first heard from his father, was that in order to do a job well, you must have the right tools. And in our quest to have our house looking good, he invested in the right tools. I recently heard a guy on a podcast say something that was quite profound. He was speaking about having to use different methods in order to solve problems or handle challenges. And he likened those methods as tools in a toolbox. He culminated his statement by saying that if we only have a hammer in our toolbox, we'll see everything as a nail. And it's got me remembering how I would share with people that my many careers, my many travels, my varied studies and training, my many experiences, and people I have met has afforded me to have many tools in my toolbox. What exactly does that mean? To me, it refers to not using one way to solve problems. Like always walking away from the problem, fighting over everything, leaving things to the last minute, or blaming other people, or being super independent. Beautiful people, we all know people like that, even if it's sometimes us. I also like to see them as coping strategies. Have you ever met someone who is so calm and can handle any problem that comes their way? When we were living in Cameroon, we had a fellow who was our problem solver. His name was Mbaga, but we called him Mon Ami, because that's what he called everyone else, which means my friend in French. There was no problem too small or great that he could not solve, and in a developing country where corruption was ripe, you often had to solve a problem with a bribe. And Mbaga always had a smile on his face. No problem, he would say. Having lots of tools in isolation is also not good, and it's best to know how to use them and use them well. Now, you may have to use a combination of tools to solve the issue. I recently had an experience where I just wanted to cut something off, use my saw. But in reflection, I saw it was better to use a screwdriver and release the situation one turn at a time. And beautiful people, most times you don't need a lot of tools. Just use the ones you have effectively. No single tool works for everyone, and we all have our unique toolbox. So beautiful people, what's in your toolbox? Okay, that's my monologue for tonight. Toolbox. And you know what I do? I open up the telephone lines only for a short minute and wondering, beautiful people, is there anyone out there who'd like to call and talk about maybe some tools that you have in your toolbox that you've used? Or you just want to give a shout out, or you want to share some positive vibes or gratitude? The phone lines are now open on Magic 102.7 FM, 297-1027, or if you're calling for the United States, 1-888-257-9086, 297-1027, or 1-888-257-9086. If you have any questions about what I even said in regards to the toy and food drive, you can call and I can give you further information, because they do have further information on the form. So 297-1027 or 1-888-257-9086. I don't see the phone ringing, and that's fine, because guess what? That gives us more time to talk to our special guest. And I'm very, very excited to have Ingrid Botello with us. Now, you may have remembered Kayla. Kayla was our photographer for our anniversary party, and we had her here I think a couple of months ago. Seems like it. I don't know, time's going so quickly. Well, guess what? This is her mother, and she's just as pretty, just as beautiful. So, Ingrid, welcome. Let's begin. Where were you born?
I was born in the beautiful island of Bermuda.
Oh, yes.
Right here in Bermuda.
Yes, and I'm thinking most people say King Edward Memorial Hospital. Yes, over there in Paget.
Yes, right in the hospital. I wasn't born at home.
Now, you had something interesting to say. Was it you who talked about the hospital and how it was the new hospital or the old hospital? I can't remember. What was that?
Yeah, I used to work at a engineering company, and one day we were doing cleaning, And I found a picture of the old part of the hospital, but not the old part.
Okay.
And where Bennett was getting built.
Uh-huh.
And it said on it 1964.
Right, okay.
So when I think of it, I might have not been born in that part because it was getting built.
Right.
But it was brand new.
Brand new.
Yes,
Okay, so
yes.
new baby,
Yes,
new hospital.
yes.
Look at that. Now, you left the hospital. Who did you go home to? Who did you go home with?
With my mom and dad.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, she was a young mom.
Yeah, how old was she?
She was 16. She was 17. She
Wow,
was going
yeah.
17.
She was a young mom. Now, did your mom come from a big family?
She did. She has about 7. It's 8 sisters, 7 brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Some
Okay.
of them are dead now, but it was a pretty big family.
Yeah, lots of
Yeah.
cousins.
Yeah.
Indeed,
My
indeed.
cousins were my best friends.
Yeah, and she grew up, was it on North Shore?
Yeah, she was brought up in the roundhouse.
Yes, but we need to know the roundhouse.
That
Yeah.
roundhouse. So when people see it, they're like, "Oh, you're one of the roundhouse children."
Now, you were an only child for a while.
Yeah, I was the only child. I was born in 1964, and I was the only child for 8 years.
Wow.
And for 8 years, I used to stay at Scar Hill in a small 1-bedroom apartment with my parents.
Wow, wow.
And it was an old 1-bedroom.
Okay, describe what you mean by old.
It had an outhouse. It had a tank on top of the ground.
Right,
One of those
yeah,
dome,
yeah.
It looked like an igloo.
Yeah.
And it had a pump for water on the inside in the kitchen.
Amazing.
And I remember having to wash our clothes with the wringer. The wringer washer,
Right, okay.
And getting our bath in a aluminum tub.
Oh my gracious. Yeah, you had an experience
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Wow.
But I remember being happy.
Yeah. I think the house was next to a farm, was it?
It was right next to Mr. Bean's farm, and I used to love looking at his horses and his cows, his sheep. I didn't know it was goats.
Goats, okay.
But I liked looking at the horses from afar.
Right, okay. You were a little girl, so
Yeah.
and those things are quite big to a
One
child.
of them broke loose one day while I was on the porch.
Oh dear.
I remember that.
Oh dear. Didn't come your way.
Yeah, it came right up to me, sniffed me, and then walked off. But
You were literally in the country.
yeah.
A country girl. I love it. Oh, wow. You had an imaginative sort of mind, didn't you,
Yeah.
as a little girl?
I don't know if it was because I was the only child for a while. I had to play by myself, but I imagined and I created things out of things in nature.
Okay.
When I was little, ever since I was young.
Right.
So I remember creating little dolls out of lily plants out of the leaves, and I remember making little flower arrangements out of the weeds.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
You know,
Yeah. So you had that instilled in you from
Right. I love playing outside.
Well, we're going to hear how this is continuing. Now, you had an aunt that used to encourage you, your Aunt Sylvia.
Yes, my Aunt Sylvia Chumley. Yeah, she used to encourage me to just be myself, to just use my imagination, to create. She used to often have paper up at her house so that I could draw on. And also, I remember my cousins coming up there, my older cousins coming to her house and saying, do something, and when I come back home from work, I want to see what you've done, what you've created. And then when they got there, they used to say, not just say it out of the top of their, they were like, Ingrid, this is beautiful.
Look at that.
And then one of them was very creative, Alla Grace. I remember she used to show me how to draw different things, like feet and calves and things, calves and legs and posing people in certain positions, and it was nice. I loved that.
So not only were you creative, but you had persons sort of with close by who can sort of guide you into various skill sets. Nice. So being an only girl, being your mom's, what was your mom like? What was it like being in that atmosphere?
Well, being the only child at that time, it was nice. I mean,
so your mom was a hostess, and
she loved to bake. She loved to cook. Everybody knows her as the baker.
What's your mom's name?
Marlene Pringle.
Hello, Miss Pringle.
She loved to bake, and she baked apple pies and lemon pies.
Oh, gracious.
And if we ever had, once Gombey moved, Gombey had people over.
Right.
She used to bake things that we usually never had unless somebody was over, like omelets and souffles and stuff like that.
So did she teach you how to cook?
I watched her. She didn't really teach me. I spent time watching her cook.
Okay, I got it.
The person who taught me was my brother's godpa, my Uncle Laurie. He taught me how to bake and cook.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. He came here for a whole summer one year, and he taught me how to make a 1, 2, 3, 4 cake. He taught me how to make Yorkshire pudding.
Oh, dear.
He taught me how to bake a roasted chicken. And I wasn't that old. I had to be about 10.
Yeah.
But we had so much fun in the kitchen. And also, I love to cook.
Right.
I think because of that.
Yeah, it was a natural.
Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful. Tell me about your dad. What was your dad like?
My dad was he came from St. Kitts. He was...
What was his career?
He was a carpenter at first.
Okay.
He was one of the first people to work on the 700 Princess when it first...
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. When it first was built.
Right.
And also after that, he became a prison officer.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So who were you closer to, your mom or your dad?
I think it was even, sort of.
Okay.
But my dad used to like to spend a lot of time talking about St. Kitts, and
really,
I used to like listening to that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
He told me about the Gombeys that they had in St. Kitts.
Okay.
And my mom, I used to like spend the time baking stuff.
Sure.
Did that,
Yeah.
Oh, and also my mom, she used to play when I got older, like around 8. She used to come out in the yard and play with us. Play hopscotch,
really,
and jacks, and skipping.
Yeah,
because she was very active.
Okay. Athletic, sports like.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I remember that. My friends remember that.
Yeah. She's very active, very much involved in that. So, but 8 years old, something happened. A sibling came along.
Yeah. Well, before that, we moved from Scour, and I remember. Before we moved, I remember my dad taking me to the land.
The land, okay, yeah. Wow.
Taking me to it and said, see this piece of land right here? This is going to be where I build my house. So he built a house at Spring Benny, and we moved there.
Right.
And I think it was around the year that we moved, my mom got pregnant with my brother, Seamus.
Seamus, okay.
And
to fill up the house.
Yeah, I wasn't happy. I loved being the only.
Really? Wow. I think by the time you're 8, you think it isn't going to be nobody else.
I loved being the only child. But, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So after Seamus, another brother.
I had another brother, Yuri.
Okay.
And he's a baby.
Right. And how many years after Seamus was Yuri?
Seamus was born 8 years after me, and Yuri 10 years after me.
Wow. Okay. So you remember this elements of your house and what have you. Did you go to church?
Yeah, we used to go to Gospel Hall.
Okay.
Right out by Baysgate, right there in Whitehill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we used to go. I have fond memories of Gospel Hall. going there every Friday to the Good News Club.
Interesting how we remember these childhood experiences.
Yeah, with my friends. My Sunday school teacher was my teacher at school.
Look at that. That's a community. Yeah.
And she was like my best friend's mom. So I spent lots of time with her.
Yeah, amazing. And your mom used to have Sunday.
Yeah, my mom used to cook a grease on Sundays.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember having her. She used to make lamb, stuffed lamb.
Okay.
Macaroni and cheese, broccoli.
Wow.
Carrots, like a whole spread, and dessert.
Yeah.
Wow. And rolls.
And oh my goodness.
Everything was homemade.
Oh, gracious me, I could smell it now. Your house was the house to go to on a Sunday afternoon. So what school did you go to? What primary school?
I went to West End. Yeah, most of my cousins went to West End. Yeah.
And you had some subjects that you liked while you were at school?
The subject I liked the best was art.
Of course. Most definitely.
My favorite teacher was Miss Pearman. And to me, some of the things that I do now in my art is some of the things I learned way back then.
Look at that. Yeah. And you said you liked English as well.
I loved English. I've always loved writing stories and writing poetry. I loved it. Yeah.
Wow.
Anything creative.
Yeah. Now, why did you say to me that you feel that you had less freedom than others in that age group? As far as sleepovers and things like that.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to do sleepovers. If it was a sleepover, it was at probably one of my cousin's houses. And not even many of those they wasn't allowed to do sleepovers at all.
Right, okay. Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah.
Which kind of protected me.
Of course.
I'm grateful now.
Yeah.
At the time, I was like so sad, like everybody else is going.
There you go. Isn't it something how parents can see ahead of you? So you were at primary school, and primary school was fun. And then you're 11 years old, and it's time to move to the next school, because we had 11 plus at those days. Yeah. So what happened there?
11 pluses is when you could actually choose which school you can go to. And so I chose my first choice was Warwick Academy. So I did it.
Woohoo, my alma mater.
I did the tests, and when I went back to school, the teacher was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe almost everyone made the first choice." Ingrid, you made your first choice. And I was so excited. All my friends, they were, all excited. And
Ingrid,
they were good. Going to Warwick Academy. And I was like saying, we're all going to be going to Warwick Academy wearing our blue dresses.
Oh, yeah, with the buttons down the front. I remember that.
And the teacher looked at me. She says, "Ingrid, Warwick Academy is not your first choice." I say, "Yes, it was. That's what I put." And she says, "No, it's not." And she showed me the paper, and my dad had scratched out Warwick Academy and put Berkeley Institute.
Oh, my goodness.
I was so upset. I was so upset.
Yes. How horrible is that?
Not where I wanted to go.
Because Warwick Academy had all the
white people. And he wanted me to go to a black school. And I didn't mind that. But I wanted to go where my friends were going.
Yeah,
and
the good girls.
They were the good girls. And it seemed like all the rebels went to
Berkeley.
To Berkeley, that were
Azai is here with us, and he's looking at you like, "No, don't think that." It's funny how we have these perceptions when we're children.
Yeah.
We really want to be able to go to these places, and voila.
Yeah.
So now you're 11 years old, and I see you calling, and we're going to give time to answer your call. So call us back in the next, say, half an hour, 15 minutes, and we'll take your call. So you're at at Berkeley. And what happens then?
Oh, at Berkeley, I was around 11, and I guess that's around the time my mom and dad, they weren't getting along too well. They're
having difficulties.
They were having a bit of difficulties, and it was affecting my schoolwork. I really didn't want to.
School was.
I didn't really want to be there. And also, I didn't want to be there anyway because that wasn't my first choice.
Exactly. Sure.
But before that, when I first came, I said, okay, although I didn't want to be there, I did my best. So I was like, they used to say, she's, you out of the first 10, you were fourth. Because that's what they used to do.
Yeah.
And so I came forth. But after that, when things started to go a little downhill at home, I didn't really want to be there. Didn't want to do any work.
Wow.
And plus, my parents were pretty strict. My dad was like, if you get a detention, because remember I told you I went to school with the rebels.
Yeah, that's right.
If you got a detention, when you get home, you're going to get a cocktail. So we had lots of detention.
Ingrid, wow. It's hard to believe you had detentions, Ingrid, but
It wasn't always me. It was like, it was
the group of you.
The group of the class had a detention. And so I was...
So it's proving your point that this is a school for the rebels.
And so I would come home, of course, I'll get my cocktail. And so...
Oh dear.
So I was upset that I was getting, getting punished for other people's...
But you did say that you were saucy.
But I was saucy. I mean, if somebody bothered me, I wasn't going to,
Let them get away with it.
No.
And you were small.
And I was very tiny.
How much did you weigh?
At 11, I was only like 4'11", weighed 62 pounds. But people, there was one guy I remember, he used to pick on me, and I just never let it. I just always used to fight back.
Yeah.
And of course, if you fight back, you got suspended, right? So.
And but the parents said something had to happen. So what did they do?
So they saw that I wasn't doing too good, and after getting in, I got suspended like 3 times at Berkeley. And then Berkeley said, you know what, she's not doing good, she's not getting good grades, and she doesn't seem like she doesn't want to be here, so don't come back next year.
Okay, so you can take the green and gold off, and wow.
So my father, he said that you're going to go to school in New York with your aunt. You're going to go stay with your aunt.
Sounds like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You're going to go stay with your aunt.
And I was upset because back then we didn't have social media.
No,
I couldn't just pick up the phone and call my friends.
Right,
you had to have money to do that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because back then you had to pay for every call. And so I just got whisked out of Bermuda and sent to the United States.
Wow.
And it was, people think that America is very, is the same as Bermuda, but our cultures are different.
Absolutely.
And so it was a little hard for me. I remember my first day in school, there was a racial riot, so I had to go back home. I was like, what's going on?
Whoa.
It scared me.
Yeah.
But I got there and I thrived. I joined the art club. My teacher here in Bermuda, my art teacher at Berkeley, when she found out that I was going, she wrote a letter to whatever art teacher I had in school out there, saying that you need to look out for this particular student because she's really artistic and talented. And so, they of course they didn't have email back then.
Right. Yeah, but the
so
letters
I handed over the letter, which was written in calligraphy.
Ooh, wow!
Yeah, and they did. They put me on their art club, and we won several contests. And it was great.
Yeah, amazing. And then you graduated.
Yeah, I graduated. I didn't know quite what I wanted to do. And my dad, he was saying, you know what? You need to go and be a teacher or try being a doctor or something. And I was like, just didn't want to do that. If I wanted to teach, I wanted to teach art.
Sure.
But he was like, no, you got to teach something else. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to go to fashion school.
Okay, so you're going to put your foot down. Okay, I didn't get to go to work, but I'm going to fashion school.
So I went to fashion school right in the middle of Manhattan.
Awesome.
And I loved it. I thrived.
I can imagine.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
Because it wasn't just the artistic part of fashion. I started fashion buying, merchandising. Also studied how to make fragrances.
Wow.
It was good. We learned how to did marketing and advertising. I just enjoyed it.
Wow. But it wasn't always good. Things were sort of difficult sometimes.
Yeah. In high school, things were a bit difficult.
Challenging. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you're on your. I was basically on my own. Although I was with my aunt, but I went through a few things
that sort of challenged your perception of life and other people. Yeah.
You can't trust everyone. My parents protected me all that time, so that I won't be sexually assaulted. But I got sexually assaulted by a classmate. So,
Wow.
So,
yeah, and at that age, you're still trying to figure yourself out.
Right.
It's unfortunate. It is, so you move from that into this fashion school. You meet. I mean, you even told me because of your smallness, you were able to get into some of these little tiny styles.
I remember, going to one job, I had to do like an internship, and it was. I remember sitting. I just want to say I was sitting in the lobby waiting. And my name was Ingrid Pringle at the time.
Okay.
And so the lady came out and she looked out into the lobby and she only saw me and she went back. 15 minutes went, she looked again. And she went back. And then she says, who are you here to see? And I said, I'm here for a job interview. And she said, what's your name? I said, Ingrid Pringle. She says, oh, I'm so sorry. I was looking for someone who was blonde with blue eyes. I couldn't believe she said that to me in my face.
She actually told you that. Amazing. Imagine that.
But, I got the job. And...
No, I think Ingrid Pringle probably,
And some of the designers, because the clothing was made very small, like a size 0, they were able to give it to me afterwards.
Look at that.
And it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then I was able to do hand modeling, modeling shoes because I was too short. I was like 5 feet by then.
Yeah.
I grew a little from high school.
Just a tiny bit.
But and my school, they helped out with fashion shows like Holston's fashion shows. So we got to do all of that.
Yeah.
It was fun. We did a lot of...
Now, you wanted to stay in New York, but it didn't happen.
No, it didn't.
That's another story of unfortunate happenstance. And so you end up back to Bermuda.
Yes.
And you want to be a personal shopper and a model.
Yeah, because I used to do personal shopping at Bloomingdale's in New York. And so when I came back here, I wanted to, do that here. I worked in the perfume department at Trimmingham's.
Okay.
And I also, back then, they used to train their sales people. So I was able to help out with the training of the salespeople. I wish they had that nowadays.
Absolutely.
Because we have a problem with customer service.
Oh, we do. Yes.
So.
We had a guest on before who talked about the fact of people being more personal.
Yes.
In providing care for customers as they come in. It is.
It gives Bermuda a whole package, like when it comes to tourism.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you stayed at Trimmingham's for a while.
Yeah, and I used to model for them as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so that was fun.
Yeah. But things start to move along, and you just started to attend church.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the Gospel Hall Church.
No, I became a Seventh-day Adventist.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first became a Seventh-day Adventist, they were like, you can't have Saturdays off. At
Okay,
Trimmingham's.
right.
So I had to look for a different job.
Okay.
And so
wow. That's a bit of a sacrifice, isn't it?
I know it was, but
you were convicted and convinced.
I was convinced. Yes.
Yeah. That's what you had to do.
Yeah.
Wow. And then you met your future husband. Or am I doing No. Okay. So
I was married. I got married to my first marriage I was too young. I was like 22, 21, 22.
Okay.
And that didn't last quite long, but
yeah.
I was married until probably about 25.
Yeah. And that was not a good experience.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I think that we were so young that we didn't quite know what we wanted.
And that can happen.
Yeah.
Even though I think you both were part of the church.
Right.
It still kind of didn't come together as it should. Wow.
Yeah. And yeah.
And so then
I got pregnant with Kayla.
You got pregnant with Kayla.
Yeah.
Okay. Was this a relationship outside of
it was outside of my marriage.
Yeah.
But because it was a pregnancy out of wedlock, I had to be, well, not had to be, but
right.
Disfellowship from the church.
Yeah.
But although I was disfellowshipped, I didn't. By the time she was born, that did not bother me because I had gotten so much closer to Christ.
Really?
Yeah. So
it didn't discourage you.
No,
your faith was not impacted by that.
No, it wasn't.
Amazing.
At all, because it made me look at it differently. Like a lot of times, people judge you once they see the child, or if they see you fully pregnant. But when I see like teenage pregnancies, don't judge them.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of times they already beat themselves up earlier. When they're not even showing.
No, right.
And that's not it. It's that right there is not important. The important thing is to love both of them, the baby and the mother. And so I was very fortunate to have people that were around me that were very loving.
Yeah, okay. Within the church or family? Wow.
But they were in the church. They were very supportive, very loving. And,
Good. Yeah. So Kayla came and she was the love of your life. She was a little
my
girl.
butterfly. She's still my butterfly.
She is. Just to let you know, on Magic 102.7, it's been said, we have Ingrid Patello, and she is telling her amazing story.
Yeah.
So you have this daughter in your life now, and you were living with your mother.
Yeah, I was living with my mom.
Yeah, okay. So she was another one providing support for you.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
She did.
And then you're in a playground and something happens.
Yeah, I was living. So I was living with my mom, and on my birthday, when it was like the week of my birthday, I had bought my first car.
Ooh.
And I said, let me take my daughter to the playground. And so I took her to the playground down in Warwick, and she talked to anybody. She's very personable.
Right. She is, yeah.
And she was playing, and she was making like a blueberry pie or pancakes or whatever. And so she asked us, this young man, do you want me to make you some blueberry
Look at her.
blueberry pancakes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my daughter's talking to this stranger. And I went to that playground. I was not in a good mood. I had just broken up with someone.
Wow.
And I shouldn't say break. I had a big argument.
Okay.
So I went there just to,
Yeah, to free yourself. Yeah.
And so I went over there to her and I was like, who is this stranger she's talking to? And as I got closer, I was like, who's this man?
Yeah.
He's good looking.
Keep talking, Kayla.
Yeah, and as I, we started talking to him, and he was a very humble person. He seemed very genuine and kind.
Sure. Yeah.
And we just talked that evening. I had just bought a car.
Okay.
He had just bought a car, so we were like, let me see your car. So we were just talking. And then we had to feed. He bought his godchild to the
playground. Yeah.
Playground. And I bought Kayla, and so he says, "Do you want to go and get the children something to eat?" So we went and got the children something to eat. And that was kind of, sort of, our first date.
Your first date, yeah.
Yeah.
And
until the next date was like 2 weeks later.
Right.
So.
And you dated until he became your.
Yeah. And now he's my husband.
And what's his name?
His name, Paul Botello.
Paul Botello. Shout out to Paul. Yes.
And we've been married now for 27 years.
Wow. Congratulations. Yeah. And from that you have 2 other children.
I have 2 others. I have Zara, who's 26, and Devin, who's 24.
Wow. Amazing.
Yep.
So
I'm very fortunate to actually like my children. You know how we love our children?
Yeah.
I actually like them.
You like them. They're good to be around. You're happy. Yeah, isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
I'm
not saying that they're perfect, but I love them.
Good.
I love to be around them.
Yeah. When they come, you light up. Like you're lighting up. You're talking about them and your face is lighting up. Okay, so I want to talk about the sea glass. Because that's what you do.
That's my other baby.
Yes. How did you get into that?
Oh, one day, my mom and my daughter were saying, my daughter had been at my mom's house, Kayla, and because Kayla's a creative as well.
Yes, she is.
And my mom is as well.
Okay.
And so she says, I want to make a piece of art on my wall, but I want to use sea glass. I said, what are you talking about?
Right.
And so she says, I want to use sea glass, and I want to put this, make flowers and put it on my wall. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. So she says, just come up the house and we could go together and get a few pieces. And so I went, this was like years ago. It had to be about 2014.
Okay. Yeah.
14 or even 13.
Yeah.
And so we went to the beach, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, wow, this is beautiful. And so I actually kind of laid in the sand, just playing with the glass and making things out of it. And I was like, this is so relaxing. And so I took a few pieces, took them home, and I was like, just enjoying making things out of this glass. And my mom was like, wow, why don't you do my piece of art on my wall? And I was like, I really like this. Like, this could be a thing. So I went home and I looked it up on Google. I was like, people make things out of sea glass? And I saw a few pictures, and I was like, okay. And then I joined a Facebook group.
Okay.
And I just started making things. And when I looked, I didn't realize that they were like, you're pretty talented. Yeah, actually, you do the best sea glass art I've ever seen.
Really?
And you see how you said really? I'll say really too.
Like you're jiving me, right?
Yeah. And I enjoyed it. Wow. And then a friend of mine said, if you make me a piece of art, I'll pay for it. I was like, pay for it. And so she gave $25. I said, okay.
$25. Okay. All right. Yeah.
And so, because I had no idea.
Right.
And then through the years, it got better and better, and people started asking me for my art. And then I had started having shows at Bermuda Society of Art.
Look at that.
I started selling it out of the Spot Newstead during women's conferences. And it just grew and grew. Just got out of hand.
It mushroomed. Wow.
And I loved it. And then, of course, the price went up as well.
Absolutely.
Right? And because I was framing them and putting them in shadow boxes and just enjoying it. And I asked the Lord to help it not just look like a piece of just any little piece of art. I wanted people to feel something from this art.
From the emotion.
I wanted them to feel the emotions and just feel something
connect
from it.
to it.
Right, just to connect. And so when people actually saw it and said, "Oh my gosh, it's making me get goosebumps," I knew that I was on the right track.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. And your artwork, you said, it was sold to an Arabian princess.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, she was an ambassador.
Okay.
Yeah, she came here for a conference, and I sold a piece to her. I've sold pieces. I sold a piece to a person in Australia. People in Canada have my art. In America.
Wow.
Somebody in England. So
you have gone international.
And people in Bermuda. Yeah.
You have gone international.
Yeah.
Wow.
And what's funny is that my boss, she went to someone's house in Atlanta, and she came out of the bathroom and she says, "Oh my gosh, I only know one person who does this type of art."
Yeah.
And the lady used to work here and said,
wow.
So that was great.
Awesome. In 2023, something happened to your life.
Yeah, in 2023, in 2022, can I just say
Sure, go ahead.
In 2022, I had my first show at Bermuda Society of Art.
Yeah.
And sold out. It sold out. And I was excited, and I wanted to do more in 2023. I was really looking forward to that. And I was going to do one at the end part of the year. But before that, I went on a girls' trip, and I started to feel kind of strange. Just weak.
Okay.
And every time I exercised, I had lost weight. But I was exercising, but just feeling fatigued. And I was getting ready for my next show. And it got to the point where I didn't, I just couldn't. I just said, I'm not going to do this show because I'm tired.
Sure.
I started, I noticed I was bleeding. And I'm been through menopause and everything.
Right. No,
and
not good.
I said, what's going on? Had my anniversary, and things seemed to be getting just a little bit worse. But I was like, probably it's just, just something else.
Some post-menopausal something on another. Yeah, right.
Went to Costa Rica, and it got worse, so I called my doctor. And I went, by the time I got... in January of 2024.
Wow.
Yeah. Am I right? Yeah, 2024.
Yeah, okay.
I went to the doctor, and I had a clean bill of health other than that. Because all my blood tests and everything came back great. He was like, "Oh, you're in great shape. Do you have any questions?" And I said, I'm bleeding. And he says, "Oh." He says, "Let's do an ultrasound. And I'm going to send you to your gynecologist." And I got the ultrasound, went to my gynecologist. She did a biopsy, and she told me she'll see me in a week. She called me in 3 days. And she said, "Ingrid, it looks like you have ovarian cancer. And it's the worst one that you can have, the more aggressive one. So you're going to have to get a hysterectomy, and you're going to have treatment. And it
just like that.
It slapped me right in my face.
Oh, twice.
I was planning an archer.
Yes.
But little did I think that it was going to, that was not on my radar.
Out of the blue.
It was totally out of the blue. That same month, I was planning to do a Bible study. And my friend said to me, why don't you do Elohim? And I said, then she says, somebody else is doing that. And Al Roy, like God sees.
Yeah.
And then when I looked, someone else was doing that one.
Okay.
And then I said, look, I would do Jehovah Rapha. And I said, I don't even know anything about Jehovah Rapha.
Yeah.
Well, I was about to find out.
Ooh.
The God that heals.
Yes,
I was
indeed.
about to find out.
At that.
And so by May of that year, I was getting a hysterectomy. But it was, although, yes, that was sad, I was, of course, scared.
Absolutely.
But I could also see the hand of God.
Look at that.
Because it could have been worse. But because earlier in my life I had my tubes tied, it didn't spread.
Look at that. Unbelievable. What a miracle that is.
It did go to my lymph nodes a bit. They were able to take those out. So instead of being stage 1 cancer, it was stage 3. And so after that, in June of 24, I had to get chemo. My hair dropped out. And I didn't have any energy. I had 6 treatments, 6 of them. And the very last treatment, I literally felt like I was going to die. No lie. I remember being home on a Monday and feeling like I was going to die. No lie.
Wow.
I was just so weak.
But you were working through all this treatment. You're saying that,
I had no strength to create. And that was the last thing on my mind.
Yeah.
But I just trusted God. And by October of 2024, I got a break.
Okay.
The end. On my anniversary, October 28th, I started radiation.
Oh, dear.
For 25 days.
Oh, my goodness.
But I had a good support system.
Yes,
the very best support system anyone could have.
Yeah.
And to me, that spoke to me as well.
And what support system was that?
Instead of having to cook every day, or I had someone bring me food every single day for 25 days.
Awesome.
Not only feeding me, but feeding my family.
Awesome. And that's important. As a mother, you want to make sure everyone's taken care of.
It just showed me that at first I felt very alone, but with the support system, I felt supported.
Yes, indeed.
I felt loved.
Yeah.
And there was no way anybody could say to me at that time that there is no God. I saw God through others.
Yeah.
And
you said you were there was a ceremony you went through, a blessing or healing or something.
I went to get anointed.
Okay, right.
I went to get anointed, and that was in March, before I even got my hysterectomy. I got prayed over, I got anointed, and the pastor said to me, "You are healed." You were healed. And I looked at her, and I believed it.
Oh, sure.
I believed it. Even when I had the hysterectomy, and they checked to see, they saw the other lymph nodes.
Yeah.
I still knew that I was going.
Look at
I was
that.
healed.
Look at that.
Even when I felt like I was going to die, I was like, "You ain't gonna die. You just."
The faith just carried you through.
You are healed.
Wow.
And then, even though I was feeling bad during radiation, I still knew that God was going to heal.
You had that confirmation.
I really did. And I asked him. I asked God. I said, I know that cancer, people look at it as a death sentence. But Lord, I'm asking that I don't get any of the bad symptoms that
Okay.
people, the long-lasting symptoms.
Right.
And I have not had them. I mean,
Praise God.
yes, my toes are numb,
Okay.
but it could be something worse.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, it could
Yeah.
have been worse. But right now,
You have some verses to share.
yeah, right now I'm cancer-free. I mean,
Hallelujah.
right now,
Wow.
every 4 months, I have to get an MRI or CAT scan, and it constantly shows no cancer.
No cancer.
So I'm praising God.
Yes,
constantly.
indeed. Yes.
I am healed.
You are. That's what you were told.
Yep, that's
You
how
are
it's done.
healed. Yeah.
And so the sea glass, my art, I'm thinking it will never look the same. It will never be the same.
No. No.
I have some Bible text that it was like making an analogy between the sea glass and our life.
Yeah.
And what bad things that happen in our life. And one of them was Romans 5 verses 3-4. Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance, and perseverance character, and character hope. And in this verse beautifully mirrors the sea glass analogy, showing how hardship through painful experiences refines, strengthens us, and ultimately leading to hope and renewal.
Absolutely. Yeah. So who is Ingrid today?
Ingrid.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yes. Ingrid is a person that's full of hope.
I love that.
Ingrid today also believes in what she believed in when she was a teenager, that when you're going through stuff, no matter how bad it is, this too shall pass. Nothing lasts forever.
It's true. Yeah.
And so I believe that even more.
Yeah.
Someone that doesn't take life for granted. And someone who's looking forward to living more.
Yes, you said to me, you're happy and you can be happier.
Yes.
I
you can be
love
happier,
that. I
you know?
love
Yeah.
that. Ingrid, thank you. Thank you for that wonderful story.
Oh, wow.
Your name is Scandinavian. I looked it up.
Yeah.
And it means beauty or beloved. And how well you live up to that. Despite the setbacks, the disappointment, and the life challenges, your beauty continues to permeate the elements. Thank you for sharing and reminding us of the joy that comes from believing in ourselves and the Creator God who sees His beauty in us. You bring old glass to life. Thank you. And beautiful people, I know you want to say thank you to Ingrid, and so our telephone lines are opened up now, and we will take your calls. Magic 102.7 FM, you're on the air.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening.
The host, and good evening to my former scholar neighbor, Ingrid.
Hello.
You're definitely inspiring. Artistic. Oh my. And your art there you do nowadays, is it shown anywhere?
Not right now. Since I was sick, I haven't made anything, but I'm doing like a soft restart, and so I'm making a few pieces.
So watch out, people.
Yeah, and watch out next year.
Right on, son. You sound very well.
Yes, I feel good.
Happy, and as I say, very inspiring. I hope you make it. Take a little walk around Scholar and see the differences, the pleasant differences as well.
Okay, all right.
And so many similar things you'll probably even remember then, outside of some of the people, some of the people of your peer, of your age.
Do you want to identify yourself, caller?
I believe Ingrid knows of Lamberts and Beans.
Yes,
and Harvey's.
Yes.
Okay, I'm one of that group there.
Okay, awesome,
right.
Awesome. Wow.
And yes.
Well, thank
you. Hope you take a walk around Spring Benny as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
I do. I love going back to Spring Benny.
Yes, that's where some of my family still stay at right now.
Okay, all right. Well,
As I said, I hope you touch base with Scholar and touch base with Spring Vanny in your church travels, and who knows, you might do some art which depicts either place.
wow. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
You remember Small Bay and Big Bay?
Very faintly, yes, because I was
For
young
swimming.
when I left there.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That means you might remember Spring Vanny and swimming down there on the shoreline
Of
down there.
course, I think of that often.
Yes.
I think of that often. That was like my playground.
Right on. Okay,
Yeah.
anyway, all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller, for calling. Okay.
Good night.
You take care. All right. Bye-bye. Yeah, so somebody from your early days remembers you and encouraging you to visit, be inspired for your artwork. Magic 102.7 FM, you're on the air.
Hi, good day. I heard one sound from Ingrid's voice, and I said, I know who that is. I just wanted to say that you did some art for me when you were going through your treatment, and it was a blessing to share with my friend. And I cannot wait to see what you will create in the future. And I've just written down the scripture that you shared, and I'm sharing it with my family. So continue to let God use you even in this season, and even more this season.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, caller. Very powerful. Thank you very much for calling in. And you have a good evening.
You have such a sweet voice.
She does.
I only met you once when I picked up the art, but I remember our prayer, and I remember your voice. I won't ever forget it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
Be blessed.
Thank you very much, caller. You take care. Have a good evening. All right. Bye-bye. Yeah. So your voice, your art, you kind of have this aura about you, that is long lasting. Well, a lot of it is the fact that you speak about God, and the God in you is what shines forth. So we can take one more call, 297-1027, or if you're calling 1-888-257-9086 if you're calling from overseas. And once again, we want to thank Ingrid for being a part of our It's Been Said family tonight. And so thank you, beautiful people, for listening once again to It's Been Said. Everyone is born into their once upon a lifetime story, and we live to experience our happily ever after. What about you? Ingrid has. If you have a story that you believe is uplifting, please send me an email at coolcat00, KOOLKAT00 @hotmail.com, and we'll get in contact with you. Thank you to our callers for calling in, and to you beautiful people for listening in. I see you on Facebook Live, so thank you very much for that. You can follow us on Facebook on It's Been Said with Cat Wade, or on Instagram, It's Been Said with Cat Wade. Next week is going to be just as special. We're going to have 3 guests in the studio next week. And you want to hear this story. We meet together every week to hear everyday stories of ordinary people who have overcome challenges, finding ways to cope and to live extraordinary lives. Because as we say, a negative mind will never give you a positive life. Let me say that again. A negative mind will never give you a positive life. So until next time, stay positive.
Live on YouTube. Subscribe now.